Hey everyone, what's going on? Elvis here. Today I'm going to show you guys how to play Jaina in the current meta. So first of all, what you need to know about Jaina is that the DPS comes from always being in range. In other words, all of your attacks slow down your enemy by 25%. This is exactly the same as having 25% movement speed at all times. You can always outrun and DPS enemies. That's what makes Jaina great. But you have to keep in mind this is compensated by Jaina's really low health pool. You're going to die very easy, so you got to balance it out. I would say she's not like intermediate. She's kind of basic, but she's kind of hard on the basic level, if that makes sense. So for our first skill, we're going to be going for winter range for this exact reason. You can build upon your slow and stack more DPS. We're going to do that as we go, but we want to get a little bit of extra range so you can do stupid shit like this. Long shot. Okay, for our next talent, we're actually going to be going for Pierce Shard. Now, you can go for Envenom here. It's totally up to you what you want to choose. Both are completely valid. Envenom does a little bit more DPS. Pierce Shard, on the other hand, stacks on the strength of Jaina as slowing enemies down. Basically, Frostbolt pierces through the first enemy, and I feel like this is the stronger choice, depending on your team comp, whatever. Both are great. Next up, we're going for a Frostbitten. Increases extra damage to enemies that are slowed. So the ideal like theme or run that you should go through is Cone of Cold, slow them down, Blizzard, hit them with 2 of them, and as they're running away, drop Frostbolt to hit them. That's kind of the general cycle. Frostbitten just makes that a little bit more easier with more DPS. Plus, now that we got extra range and piercing attacks and our Frostbolt, yeah, it's a lot easier. Okay, for our ultimates. Now, I see both ultimates played on Jaina, but the truth is I kind of have a pretty one-sided opinion about it. I believe Summon Water Elemental is the best skill. You can go for Ring of Frost. It does quite a lot of damage, although it's really hard to actually lock onto targets on certain maps. You know, if you've got a single event, for example, like the Curse, then it's a little bit better because it's a lot easier to hit. But in my opinion, go for Summon Water Elemental, especially when you have someone like Nova in the team. You can drop down your Water Elemental. She might even be able to clean you up with a very low health pool that you have, but the Water Elemental will eventually chase her down and probably get the kill, helping out your teammates. It adds an extra unit in the team with its own health and its own AI, and it actually gets really strong a little bit later on when we get to our Storm abilities. Okay, our next talent. This is really your only leverage point when it comes to Jaina, and it's Improve Ice Block. Once again, if you're versing a Nova, this skill is just amazing. It breaks everything. CC, whatever. Drop it down. It makes you immune to all DPS for 3 seconds. Now, when you first start playing Jaina, this talent will feel a little bit rookie-ish, a little bit amateur because you feel like you're wasting time. But running as a team group, Jaina is such an easy pick-off. You can actually bait the enemy into attacking you and drop this skill down. 3 seconds of immunity is just fantastic. This skill used well will win you team fights. Now, moving on. Level 16. Now, you might get baited here to choose Snow Crash. What that does is it drops an extra Blizzard, but the truth is if you can land 2 Blizzard shots, you're stoked. You should be happy about that. If you can land 3, that's just really, really hard to do. You know, especially if you're playing against experienced players, it's a very rare thing to do. Honestly, the best option here is to go for Northern Exposure. This increases the damage by 25% for 2 seconds after using Cone of Cold. And if you remember the combo that I spoke about earlier, Cone of Cold, Blizzard, and then drop Frostbolt, this just strengthens the way that you should play Jaina. You know, slowing the enemies down, pulling off major DPS. And the best part about the skill is she takes 25% DPS from everyone in your team. That's why we want to choose this skill. Now, for the very last skill, you have 2 options here. Both are very relevant. Number 1 is Winter Mute. What this does is it allows your Water Elemental to mimic the same skills. So almost like double DPS when you have your Water Elemental up. So if you drop, you know, Blizzard, another Blizzard comes down from your Water Elemental as well. It's really good. But your second option here is Bolt of the Storm. And this allows you to teleport really quickly out of the way of danger. Now, in my opinion, earlier on we chose Improved Ice Block, and this allows you to be immune of all damage for 3 seconds. So you should probably go for Winter Mute, increase your DPS. If you want to go for Bolt of the Storm for a little bit of a teleport, then probably replace Improved Ice Block for something else. Anyway, guys, that's it. That's how you play Jaina. Now, just before you go, I want to mention one thing, and that is that I don't use lame websites or any build guide shit. I just play characters way too much and figure out what works for me. So I'd appreciate it if you liked the video. If you want to see another video like this, my name is Elvis. Catch you next time. Subscribe. See ya.